Hey, hello, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Heroes Hype Live, your place to join in a discussion on all things Heroes of the Storm, North America, and beyond. My name is Lawrence. My pleasure to be joined by maybe Buzz and the stoic, concerned ventriloquist Aether.
Yeah. I can throw my voice away. You can't even tell if I'm talking. It's pretty impressive, right?
Not too shabby. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm good.
Doing good.
It was an exciting yesterday. Did either of you guys see the eclipse yesterday?
I did.
Well, no.
Yeah.
If we would have gone blind.
Well, I
Duh.
mean, I took pictures of it.
Hey.
I had some indirect ways of checking it out. Once in a lifetime opportunity, man. Not too shabby there. Something else I did get to check out was the HGC Open Division last night. I got to cast that on the main channel with the young J-How.
How was that, by the way? Did you have a fun time?
I had a decent time. Like, it was incredible, man. The North American scene is just out of this world. Like, the place in the bracket that we followed was friggin'... It just really speaks to the overall potential because... You know, in the open division, a lot of people feel like, you know, the first round, it's kind of a crapshoot as far as what level of play you're going to get. And we ended up following French Toast Mafia, who has members from Heroes of the Dorm, right? Yeah. From Heroes of the Dorm. And Animals, who have the Ebros. You guys know anyone in the amateur scene, definitely Ebros is up there. They won Heroes of the Dorm, right, and they didn't drop a game. Like a whole tournament. They didn't drop a single game. So that was explosive right out of the gate. And then they went into Donkeys R Us. Oh, yeah.
There was Cho'Gall in that set, was there not?
Yeah, there was.
There was Cho'Gall.
It was early on, yeah. But I guess now the real question for you, Lauren, right? And, you know, everyone's probably going to be wondering, now that you've casted with J-How, you have to do, I don't want to curse, so I guess I'll say, like, have sex with, kill, and marry between J-How, Solid Jake, and Envirum.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Oh.
You're on the spot now.
I feel like you've planned this.
No, this is a common question.
This is doing it live for real.
What, you're not going to answer it?
How you going to put me out here like that?
I guess you don't want to burn any bridges too soon, huh? I got you.
I wasn't ready for that one. You know. I'll have to think on that one.
Yeah, we'll definitely get back to it.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna let that one go.
You're gonna hang on to it. That's fair.
Definitely.
That's fair. For those who were looking forward to it, we will have TalkingTrees on the show shortly. He is right now in the middle of a scrim block. He's taking time out of his day, TalkingTrees, a Spacestation Gaming, to speak with us for a few minutes. I think their previous scrim block ran a little late, so once that game, their last games or set or whatever finishes up, he'll be able to join us and get his take on things. But I see you guys are in the chat. Morales looks very fun. Jane equals Dreadlord. There's the meme, of course.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, is that a meme or is this like
Donna?
Is it just now confirmed now? I mean, that's been a hot topic in the WoW community for years.
A while, yeah.
Years.
What, the Jaina is a Dreadlord?
Yeah, the Jaina might be a Dreadlord. Like, that's been a possibility for so long, and then they drop it on them like this. You know what I mean? Like, if I was a big WoW player, I'd feel a little offended that that's how it gets revealed. You know?
How did you guys feel about that introduction video? Did you like the style?
Oh my god, I was like, when are we getting a Heroes of the Storm anime? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone else thought that too, right?
Well, yeah, because like Overwatch gets like a lot of like the different animation styles for their character intros, and so it was like really exciting to have that same like level of like integrity is the wrong word, but like that we matter too, like the artistic expression, right? That's like the different art styles. I thought it was really neat. Hammer with that 1-2 punch, right?
Oh my
I can't
god!
believe they just revealed that Sergeant Hammer's getting a third ultimate. Like, that's insane.
Dude, I saw that video and I was like, all right, I gotta start spamming some Sergeant Hammer. She was like level 2, for me, and I got her up to level 7 just off of the games I played yesterday. I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Someone had tweeted to me earlier, and they were like, "Oh, looks like Sergeant Hammer's getting that 3rd heroic." I was like, dude, if she ever gets a heroic where she jumps out of the tank and starts uppercutting people, well, what's funny is like she runs into the problem where I don't think Deathwing will ever be in the game because in actuality the tank is huge. Like she's not like a minion-sized person.
Yeah.
Right.
But for gameplay design reasons, they can't have the tank be like 8 times larger than the average player model, so she's just kind of like hosed. So she doesn't. Well, I guess they kind of fixed it with Diva to a degree, but I don't know. I would like to see it.
Yeah, I just have to say that ult looks busted though. It like basically one-shot Zagara. Like if you really want to take level 10 Zagara health, like that's like a 700. No, that's like a 1100 damage ultimate, and there was no cast time. You saw that. Like there's no cast time. That's busted.
It's not a skill shot. It's just like you just click, it just auto connects.
Point click Shoryuken, one shot. Blizzard Y. I know we're doing all these remakes.
Wins. Reset. If you kill somebody, it's a reset and you get it again.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Dude. She jumps out, they start playing the Guile theme. Starts uppercutting everyone. Florida Owl, how's it going, man? I think it's nice to mix the art style up a little bit. You know, the art style of that video actually reminded me of like 80s cartoons. Like He-Man and Thundercats.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it had faces they're making. Well,
just the overall animation style and the fluidity of it. Yeah. Like if you saw Lion-O jump out, I wouldn't have been the least bit surprised.
Ooh, that'd be pretty exciting. We need a Lion-O skin on something like a Kel'Thuzad Lion-O.
That'd be the best time to like confirm another crossover into the Heroes of the Storm. Like imagine you started adding in like Hanna-Barbera characters. Like that'd be a fun little thing, right?
They can't do anything like that until they add Rock and Roll Racing, personally. Blizzard,
true.
You gotta get me something from Rock and Roll Racing. I don't care what it is. Oh yeah, I played the hell out of that game as a kid. That's an old school game if you haven't played that one. I don't know if you guys. But apparently, Kel'Thuzad is pretty big. Crash in the chat said, "Well, did you see the size of Kel'Thuzad? He's huge." And I didn't even think about that. What are you guys' impressions on Kel'Thuzad overall?
I'm really glad that they brought him just so everybody wouldn't complain that it wasn't him. I don't think I could deal with another Deathwing scandal again. So I like when they bring in WoW characters. I know that people are like, oh, there's so many WoW heroes, but I'm okay with that. And from what everyone's saying, he's pretty exciting and he's going to be a lot of fun to play. So I'm looking forward to him.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 2 little side things, I guess. One, it's actually been a year since we've had a mage, which I think is pretty crazy that nobody pointed out, right? Like nobody's talked about the fact that we haven't had an actual mage character in a year, that's insane. Because like in the kind of like MOBA genre, like mages are a pretty common, archetype, right? And then it was just like we're just now getting like a new mage after so long. And the other thing that Reddit pointed out that I thought was amazing is
good old Reddit.
The 4 horsemen theory that just kind of came out. I guess it's now been 100% confirmed. We started off Mathael, the horse of death, right? The horseman of death. Mm-hmm. Stukov, plague.
Pestilence, yeah.
Garrosh, war, and now KT, famine. Boom. What? That's how they released it. That's right.
That's pretty cool.
And he was released on the eclipse. That's when he gets revealed on the day of the eclipse with the 4 horsemen. Like, come on. Wow. This is insane, right?
Dude. I'm hearing the X-Files theme over that one. That's creepy.
Oh yeah, we need to get a soundboard, right?
Yeah.
we need Guile theme. And we got to get the X-Files theory.
But you said they actually confirmed that? That's ingenious.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Because, I mean, like, people were thinking that it was, like, after Garrosh was revealed, everybody was like, oh my god, what if it's the 4 horsemen thing, and now we're getting KT, like, this is going to be nuts, and I guess it was true. But I do like that immediately once they got KT, it was like, all right, all the, like, give us KT went silent, and then it was just like, Yeah, but where's Deathwing? Yeah, we were told Deathwing. You guys remember Deathwing?
Deathwing?
Oh, give us
Hello,
Deathwing. It's like, wow, you can't keep these kids happy long enough. You know?
No.
I saw
I
one
mean,
tweet where like someone posted a like retweeted the image that Blizzard sent out, one of the images leading up to the reveal of Kel'Thuzad, and like they made it black and white, then they inverted it, they changed the filter, and suddenly it was just like a picture of Deathwing, and they're like Deathwing confirmed. And it's just like what the hell?
I mean,
they'll do
people
anything
like
for
that.
Deathwing.
Blizzard, they gotta make it happen. My prediction is BlizzCon.
Is
Ooh,
Deathwing?
that would be a really good way, yeah.
That makes sense.
If they want to put that to bed, if they ever wanted to release Deathwing, I mean that's become a meme of epic proportions by now. They gotta answer that.
The lights lower, flames like erupt on stage.
So we do have a question about asking about how like the leaks did come in the exact order that the original leaker had posted. So my question is, what is Blizzard gonna do? Obviously, to the same levels as HBO, in order to keep these leaks in check, because they clearly did not do a good job. You think someone's gonna get fired once they figured all this out, or what do you think they have to do to keep this under wraps?
I don't know if there's anything that they really can do. I mean, in the current information age, if someone wants to leak something, unless you make it super top secret, I don't see it happening. I mean, it's really unfortunate. People behind Blizzard are putting so much effort into like that Four Horsemen thing would have flown right over my head. If you didn't mention that, I would have never thought of that. So there's obvious passion about the overall production and schedule of Heroes of the Storm. So I'd feel pretty salty if I was, someone that was really behind all that, and I look on Reddit one day and like all my cards are just laid out there like that. It's like, yeah, you don't have to confirm or deny it, but still, it just takes a lot of the fun out of it.
To bring it back to like the HBO comparison, HBO doesn't even care that things are leaked. They basically said like, cause somebody is like holding the final episode of this season ransom for $6.5 billion or something like that.
250 mil, but whatever.
I'm pretty sure it was whatever. Anyway, but still like, and HBO basically is like, it doesn't matter. Like people are still going to like wait to watch. People are still going to watch it. Like it doesn't actually affect us. So like, does it actually affect Blizzard like to have all the information out there and like to sort of like create this dialogue where people are arguing about whether it's true or whether it's not, and then like throwing misdirection, like it almost by taking it down you confirm it, whereas if you leave it up it lets people think that it's not, maybe it might not be real.
Oh my god.
Well, I mean, what's up?
I was gonna say, it's such a good point. What Blizzard should do is release the most legit looking information that's actually fake. The ward information.
Fake news?
That's
You
a
think
big
they should
deal.
Fake news?
Yeah, they should fake news the HOTS community just to keep them like
There you go.
docile and stop complaining
Next.
so much.
Next level right there. I would be impressed if they did that. I mean, it would be something of a strategy. I mean, you're really investing if you're like, well, let's just let them leak it. It's fine, whatever. I mean, you can't delete it. If someone posts a link or they're like, hey, these are the next few heroes that are coming out, and then Blizzard takes it off of Reddit, that's a can of worms that'll never close. Like that's just all but confirmation. So I don't think that could be the route. I guess I see where HBO is coming from. It's just like, hey, we're gonna release this sooner or later. So
And you're all gonna watch it and you're all gonna buy the sweatshirts and the merch,
Right.
so it doesn't matter.
y'all will be on Twitter about it anyway, trying to spoil it for people. So
Yeah.
how's it going, Love the
Blizzard.
Bubble? Cowhead, hi, how's it going? Mim says, can I be permitted to post the thing? I don't know.
Is that really what you just call her? You just call her Mims?
Just the Mim.
the Mim.
I'm like,
Donna
yes,
is a Mim.
I'm like a bad Twitch mod though, so how do I do that?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even think I'm a mod in this channel. Feels bad.
We're gonna open up the can of worms. Does that work? Oh no, you
I mean,
can't just like allow people. Never mind.
She did send me what photo she wanted, and it was actually a can of worms. So
Oh, I think we have heard. Let me look at my chat here. I think TalkingTrees is ready.
okay.
Ooh, okay.
Well, Chrissy just messaged me and said hi. So I'm assuming.
Hi.
All right. Okay, so I gotta do some NA production value, so it's gonna look a little trippy for a second here. But we're gonna bring TalkingTrees of Spacestation Gaming on to the show. Actually, you know what? I know what I'll do. That is not okay. We won't do that. Never mind. This is gonna look trippy for a second. I thought I had like a BRB screen, but production value. So okay, adding a call. So this is gonna look a little weird.
That's what post-production is for.
What?
Same. All right. Okay, this looks super weird.
Looks like make it
Hello?
right there.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
TalkingTrees, how's it going, man?
Hello.
I
Pretty
gotta
good.
I gotta do some like really fast production stuff during the show. This is the definition of HeroesHype Live right here. Like,
Oh,
so
All right, Trees. How did scrims go? Do you guys have a?
we are still in scrims.
Oh.
Yeah.
committed like
They're
you
going
are.
pretty well.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
TalkingTrees, I don't think you and I ever had a chance to directly converse. So,
Nope.
hello to you, good sir. I'm a big
Hello.
fan of your work. Big
Oh,
fan of your
thank
work.
you.
man.
I am as well to you.
Wow, thanks, man. Wow, that means a lot.
I
Got
mean-
all this mutual respect. This is insane.
I just love flying right now.
No, man, it's just like I don't know. You always see TalkingTrees make plays in HGC, and I've seen you come up in the amateur scene, so it's really cool to get a chance to sit down with you for a little bit. We definitely appreciate you taking some time to sit down with us. We saw you meme it up a little bit last week with the boys. You guys are still over at
Oh
bootcamp.
yeah.
How's that overall experience been going for you?
Oh, this boot camp it's so fun. It's just so fun. I don't know.
Any
don't know.
any
We-
team
we're-
pranks going on?
Oh yeah, so many. Like way too many, honestly.
Oh, that sounds like a bad thing. Then never mind.
It's almost at that point where it's just like it's way too many.
All right, who's the biggest pranker and who's the biggest prankee?
Who's the
Oh.
biggest pranker?
Yeah. who's-
Tiger.
Oh god.
Really?
I'm somehow
100%.
not surprised by that, actually.
100%.
I'm a
Yeah.
little shocked. I'm a little shocked.
But who does he prank the most, and why is it huge?
It's yeah. I'm super serious, huge. It's who does he prank the most? Me, Equinox, around
God,
the
is it-
same.
It's
It's
everybody.
around the
Okay.
same.
Oh god.
So you said it's been a really cool experience. Obviously, you guys are building camaraderie outside of just playing the video game. Is this your first time meeting? I'm trying to think of what teams you've been on in the past. Is this your first time meeting the majority of the folks on Space Station? Gaming?
No. I'm pretty sure. Like, what's it? I started in 2015 in December. So
Old school.
no, definitely not.
Yeah,
I knew everyone before, but this is like our first time, just like because I didn't go to the player summit, so it's like
Mhm.
technically the first time that I like met like my team like as a whole.
Right.
Mhm.
So yeah,
So you guys have the HGC coming up this weekend.
Mhm.
Aether was giving me some really interesting insights into some of the matchups. There's a lot on the line already, right?
yeah, I think so. I
I'm-
mean,
Who are you
Yeah.
guys facing first this weekend?
who do we face
Is it-
first? First, it's Naventic, and then on Sunday we play Even in Death.
Mhm.
We had a chance to speak with Casanova quite a bit about
Yeah.
your previous matchup with Even in Death.
Yeah.
And the impression I got is like, it's an important match. You definitely want to use it as a litmus test to some degree to compare yourself from the last half of Phase 2 to now. But for you personally, how does it, how are you looking at going into this matchup? Because a lot of people felt like, on paper, you guys should have come away with the victory there.
Yeah.
How does that affect your mentality going into that matchup?
So it affects our mentality to the point where it's just like man, we actually just lost like to even in death. That like it just blew us out, and we're just like, this sucks. But in this current split, we're just like, all right, we have to beat even in death. Like it's like 100% we have to.
I mean, how did it feel? Literally, like you guys just faced them in Crucible.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, you specifically, because you were actually on a team, or like you know those guys, like Frozen X, and you know a lot of people on that team, and
Frozen,
you're good friends.
Battery.
How did it feel when it was like Navintic, no flame to anybody? Navintic didn't look like they were doing super hot, right? There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes with that team, and then even in death, who comes out first from Crucible playoffs, decides to go with no tomorrow. Like how did that feel? Like was that confusing or?
Well, like
you feel betrayed?
So as soon as they like got in the Crucible and it was like 100%, I was just like, hey man, so like, can you just tell us like who you're gonna be facing like as soon as possible? It'd be real nice to prep for like if we're going against you or not going against you. It'd be nice to prep. And he's just like, yeah, sure, no problem. And then he like a day later, he's just like, we're gonna go with you guys. And like it took me as a shock. I was just like, wait, really? Like, but all right, man. Like I honestly like I just wished him good luck. I was just like, honestly, just good luck. You chose us for a reason, I guess. So that's it. I later on found out that the reason was because they didn't want to play on West server. So.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't any sort of like
No.
we really hate trees. We want to get this guy out of HCC.
Well, maybe I don't know, man.
Like, why'd you guys do it?
I hope not.
West server. That's
I mean,
funny,
that's a dynamic I didn't even consider about the team selection for going into Crucible. I guess there are definitely some potential subtext to take away from all that. But you
I'm
guys,
pretty sure every single one of them is central except Battery.
oh okay.
Pretty sure that's it.
So like when
USC.
he came and he told you, like said, like it's gonna be you guys. Was it one of those like Fast and Furious 7, like it's been a long time, like you guys are staring at each other and you both have to part ways like, until we see each other again? Or I don't know how the fucking song was actually.
I don't know.
It was nothing like that.
No, not really. It just like it kind of took me as a shock to where I'm just like, I feel like we're probably like better at the time, like than Naventic, and like I guess we still won, so it's like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
right?
I'm like a little confused, but it's like I still understand
Right.
because of the server thing. Or maybe they hate me. I don't know.
Who could hate talking trees? Hostile G-Force in the chat said, "Did we learn the favorite tree yet?" This is
The favorite tree.
Your
Yeah,
favorite.
your
what's
favorite tree.
My favorite tree. It is Weeping Willow. There's actually a lot of them out here. It's so insane. We got like one like
You
right
feel
in
at
front of the
home?
house. Oh, it's so good. Like in the wind, in the wind it just like sways like back and forth. I don't know. There's something about it that's just super relaxing.
It's melodic.
Yeah.
So where does the name Talking Trees come from? Because that was a lot more detailed a response than I figured it would be.
I thought he was gonna blank on that one. I don't know. I didn't think he actually had an answer for what
I
his
thought he was gonna be
favorite
like
tree
the
was.
one with the leaves. I didn't think it was gonna be all
Everyone's got
that.
their favorite tree. Come on, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Same.
How did trees become a thing? There's like a lot of like different stories, but it's like I guess just like the main one in League of Legends, like season like 1, like turning into 2. I just played nothing but Maokai for like so long. Played him for like a full season. Yeah, and I got to like Diamond 1 and like almost hit Challenger at the time.
Nice.
Back in like season 3. Just because of it. I just played it.
So then what was your name before then, right? Because obviously you had to have a username before that.
Before then, it was just Marco Polo, and then after that, I made a barcode account with just a bunch of W's, and I still have that account. It's like in Masters right now. I still have like almost every game right now. I just have a barcode account with just like 9 or more W's. I don't know. It's just
Wow.
I back then I thought
You're
that's how
that
you made
guy,
a
huh?
barcode account.
Gotcha.
I thought
What's
that's how you
going
made
on,
one.
W?
I don't know. Yeah, just a
Yeah.
bunch of W's.
Any letter, just pick one.
Sepia overtones now included. Hey man, here in Northern Virginia during the eclipse, man, it would look super weird. The sepia tone. I don't know. Pine tree equals best tree.
That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good
This
one.
is pretty. So, Talking Trees, you go into the Crucible, you come out the victors. You remain in HGC. It was a really interesting time I felt for the overall hero scene because there wasn't anything like that before. Previous regional championships, you're playing for a prize pool, but in that instance, like you're playing to maintain the status quo. You come out of that ahead. You have to feel pretty good about that. You guys are definitely having some early success in phase 2. For you personally, coming out of the Crucible, what did you want to work on most, and how far along do you feel you've gotten on that front?
What do we want to work on most is probably just getting like our team synergy back, because like in the first half, I think we were like doing decent, and then it just like all of a sudden just fell, and we were just like just no team synergy at all. It was just like no one calling like what they could see like what abilities were up, and just like if we could follow up on anything, it was just basically like nothing. It was not good. It was not a fun time. And what we really wanted to do was just like strive to just always say when stuff is up, and like turning aspects, like can we do this? Like everyone either says yes, snap, or no, we can't, just get out. It's been working pretty well so far, I think. We definitely got our synergy back, especially with Equinox. We got like that turn caller. We got like the let's do this right now, and if someone says no, we can't, it's just like, all right, fine, it's cool. Like do something else.
Is there more trust, would you say?
There's a lot more trust. Like there's infinite more trust, I'd say. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
So you guys feel like a real brotherhood right now?
Right now, yeah. Like right before, like I think it's like going back to the even in death thing. It's like as soon as we did that, it's just like we just lost it, dude. We like all of us just like lost our mentals, and we're like, oh god. And then like when we played Roll20 that last week, we didn't even scrim for like 6 hours. We're just like, we're outie.
Sometimes you gotta have that resiliency to be able to bounce back. I'm glad to hear you guys have been able to do that, and I'm sure the boot camp has definitely helped on that front.
This boot camp is PogChamp.
Oh, you guys are ready to jump back in then, huh? All right.
Oh yeah, we've been ready. Like we're just like waiting for HGC to start, because we're just like we already did our prep. Like we did everything already. We're just like trying a little bit more stuff here and there, like fully finalizing it, and then we're just gonna go in and just hopefully 3-0 both teams, because that'll help us in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Who are you looking?
Okay, go ahead, man.
Oh no, who are you looking forward to playing the most this split?
Who am I looking forward to playing the most? It's either GFE or Roll20. I think that's it.
Okay.
Why GFE?
GFE because I don't want to like say anything in our scrims, but they just annoy us. They just like purposefully annoy us, and it works. And then I don't know. And then they're completely different in tournament, so it's just like without revealing anything, it's just we got 3-2'd by them last time, and it's just like I feel like we were so close to winning, and it would feel so good to just take our win back, you know?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely something of a rivalry formed there, I'd say. That I think that Game 5 might have been the most exciting I can recently recall in HGC, just because it did feel like such a back and forth battle. So for you guys to come out of this break, having this time to be in the boot camp, and for you to say how enthused you guys are, I'm really looking forward to that matchup, because I think it could go a different way this time.
Yeah. So before we get into some predictions of this weekend, we already heard yours for your team. Like, do you have any predictions for what you think is going to be the top 3 in A going to BlizzCon?
Top 3 going to BlizzCon. So I think right now GFE, just based on leaderboard alone, has a really good shot. And then also Team Freedom, just because they did even though GFE got 4th in Western, I still think Freedom did really well. Just because like they were able to take games off of European teams, which I think Gale Force did 1.
Yeah, it was 1.
Yeah, they only took 1 game off of a European team. So I think that's why I think Freedom is definitely also going to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously Space Station
And
Gaming.
then, I was like, where's the Space Station?
Yeah.
But no, I definitely agree with you. I was really curious to see how Team Freedom would handle being on the international stage. Gale Force has some history at that level. So when you see Team Freedom as a unit, as that roster has never, they haven't been to a previous clash or anything like that. I think they held up their own pretty well. But from what I've seen, I think you guys are just as solid as them. So I'll put you in my top 3. Sure.
Yeah. Nice. The whole Lauren top 3.
Well,
it.
A large part of why I feel that way is because something that you said earlier, where you said having Equinox on the team offers you guys the opportunity to make turns in your decisions. And I think that's something that's been on a world stage, something that NA's fallen short on. It's like when they commit to a team fight or they want to make a decision, it's very binary. It's like we either do it or we don't. And if they back away, there's no second consideration. It's just like, all right, we got to leave. We lost a person. We're low on health. We got to back out. But if Equinox has the mindset, or if your team overall is developing the mindset, like, actually, if we step back for a couple seconds and we get, like, our main heal off on Uther, like, we can turn this fight. Having that, like, lethality in mind at any given moment makes you guys dangerous. And I think that's going to overwhelm a lot of other teams in the NA region.
Yeah. Just because that we've just been seeing like a lot of that in scrims already. How like we're just like, let's turn, and we just all of a sudden like turn the fight, like insta kill someone. We're just like, oh, this game's easy.
It's like, wow, guys, this game's hard. 2 seconds later, we just deleted that guy. Actually, easy game, easy life.
Exactly.
Well, if you guys are going to be in the top 3, then who do you think? Which amateur teams do you think may have a chance at sniping those Crucible slots?
So it's definitely Crone's team. Didn't they do like a name change recently? I think it was. Yeah. They did like a name change. Yeah. So definitely
picked
them.
Up
Shout out to HeroesHype.
Yeah.
I think they have a really good chance of getting into HGC. I'd honestly say like an 80% chance at least. So that's that. And then the other team that is number 2 is who?
Well,
Donkeys R Us.
According to standings, it's Donkeys R Us is number 1, and HeroesHype is number 2.
Yeah.
A little spicy.
Okay.
There.
There's something of an asterisk there, though, because Hold It Down had to lose all their points when they subbed in Soyasarian.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not to take anything away from Donkeys R Us at all, because they are a phenomenal team, and they're in the top 4 tonight in the semifinals. But just like, if they were able to maintain their points, then Hold It Down would have a pretty sizable lead, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I definitely agree. The amateur scene between phase 1 and 2 feels like a night and day difference. I don't know how much time you've been able to see things at the open division level, but these teams are playing for real. Like they're hungry, man.
Yeah, I've sometimes like go in like here and there. Yeah, I've seen it. Like some teams like look pretty good. Like especially the Heroes Hearth team. Yeah, I'm fairly confident that they're gonna make it in. And Donkeys R Us, I think it just really depends on who they play. I'd give them a 50-50 depending on who they play.
I can see that, because one of my concerns for Donkeys R Us overall is consistency. At Bloodlust, it just did not seem like the Donkeys R Us we've seen in other iterations. I followed or seen this team a lot in HeroesHype Tempo Storm series. Rock solid play all around. It just did not seem like they were firing on all cylinders there at Bloodlust. And I think if they're not ready for the bright lights of the Crucible, and they don't play with their best foot forward, they're gonna find themselves outside of the HGC if they get that far. So definitely agree with you there.
Now I want to keep on this train that we're going, right? But I don't want to miss one specific question that we got in the chat here, without trying to, divulge any of your guys' secret strats. But do you think this weekend we're gonna see any Butcher, Lily, or maybe a combination of both?
Butcher and Lily?
That's right.
Who's telling you our strats?
Uh-oh.
No.
Murky Butcher Lily.
Probably not. But there's something. There's gonna be
I
something.
mean, you got a fan in the chat right here. You gotta show up this weekend with that comp. I mean, I just feel like.
All right, guys, we're playing Butcher Lily. I guess. I guess.
Let's go. Let's go.
Just put out a
Why don't we do
poll
that?
before every game, right?
Well-
Yeah.
What should we play this game?
Chat draft.
We're gonna have something that's gonna be insane.
Spicy?
If we run it. If we don't run it, then I'm sorry, but if we do, everyone's mind is gonna go insane.
Is it gonna be the fabled Sunday afternoon with your dad throwing the ball around?
He's just like giving you the death stare. He like has like a keyboard he's gonna hit you with or something.
So talking
The
to
cat-
I
the cat's
theorized Abathur Garrosh, 2 Garroshes, and they just throwing somebody
Every
back and
Garrosh.
forth. I called it the Sunday afternoon with your dad throwing the ball around.
Yeah,
It's the old pitching
we were
catch.
playing SEL and we had Artanis in one of them, and Garrosh would just like throw him away, and then Artanis would like go in, swap him back even further. So
I think
God.
I've seen
that was
that.
funny.
I've been
Yeah,
watching
that was
some
an
SEL
SEL.
streams
It was really
lately.
fun.
I was like, Garrosh Artanis is like legit scary. Because if you know where someone's gonna be, like that's
Mhm.
like a 2.5 hooks from Stitches. Like you're just going.
Spicy.
Do you think we'll see? I'm assuming we'll see a lot of Garrosh this week.
I don't know. I
Really?
really don't know. I don't know. I think the hero's like decent, but it's like you need to play around him, and it's some teams just don't like do it as well, and other teams like do it super well. So I'm not
It's hard to tell.
confident in that much Garrosh, but I guess we'll see.
All right, I'm surprised at that. I mean, I guess in a lot of ways, you know,
Cassa's different. Cassa says, "Give me Garrosh," and I say,
yeah, he definitely was a fan of that hero when we had a chance to speak with him last week. For you, as more of like a flex person, do you like playing off of warriors like that, or that have somewhat longer cooldown, and it's like, all right, I've displaced this one person, let's detonate them, like. Do you like that kind of play?
I love it. I love it. It's so fun.
So do you like? Would you rather have Stitches or Garrosh then?
Garrosh because he's better right now. Stitches is like meh.
Spicy.
That's so interesting to me because like a month ago, I feel like he would have a much different valuation.
Yeah, like a month ago.
Do you think that's just
forever.
Yeah, I mean like a month ago, yeah, but it's like then Garrosh came into the game and shook things up. So I guess
that's fair.
Do you guys, does the team talk about any of the predictions for this weekend? Do you have any predictions between we got Team Freedom versus Roll20 and Roll20 versus Tempo Storm? Any predictions there?
So Team Freedom versus Roll20,
And
I
then-
don't know. I
You don't
really
know?
don't. That's gonna be a good one, honestly.
Mhm.
I feel like that matchup, it's gonna come down to how aggressive Roll20 want to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When they take stuff like Diablo Medivh and they kind of dictate the early parts of a team fight, and it goes their way, they build momentum off of that. But if that falls flat, they could have a pretty rough time.
I think so as well.
Let's see.
We have a question in the chat. We'll see. Lovely Hearthstone says, can you ask which team he thinks is the weakest in HGC?
No.
Spicy.
Ooh.
Spicy.
No.
Hey, that's a little
No,
on the nose
I
there,
can't.
Hearthstone.
I can't.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I don't think I can. It's just legit. The only thing I can say to that is just look at the leaderboards and I guess you'll find your answer. But I didn't say anything.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because
Well,
I mean, because what's it like? Even superstars or us, if we lose all of our games, we could be number 8. So, I mean,
any given Friday, Saturday,
Anyone.
or Sunday.
Yeah.
Spicy makes it interesting. Come on. You tried, Lovely Hearthstone. You went for it. But hey, man, I know you guys are just in between scrim blocks right now, so we definitely appreciate you taking time to hang out with us, talk about things. It was really good to get some insight on how you approach the game, personally. Like I said, we've never had a chance to talk together, but been a long time fan, so it's been cool to talk to you, man.
Thank you. All right,
thanks for coming out.
I gotta get back to scrims.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, man.
Good luck. Bye.
Good luck
Bye.
this weekend.
Bye.
Don't have PTSD against Steven and Dev.
Oh God.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
go to
no,
scrims, go to scrims.
Neil.
Oh, I'm going to bed. Dude.
Oh.
I'm out.
All right, I gotta switch it back because I'm good at this in production values, I think. All right, so may move you here. Aether, man, you kept a real stoic face on that whole interview.
You know, I feel like they could have
You gotta-
easily have
You gotta
casted
learn
me.
to smile more, man.
No, they should have put me in Game of Thrones as Daenerys Targaryen. I could have done that role
That's fair.
so easily, just no emotion. Look at that, like
Yeah, I almost
budge.
said massive
Don't-
things of what I
Shh,
didn't. Yeah,
no
I
spoilers.
almost like. Yeah, she didn't even. But yeah,
no.
I didn't say it.
Okay.
You're House of G-Force. You're gonna hit me with the T-Tours?
Oh.
Dude, man, the Skype window changes live. I can't. I'm shooting from the hip out here, man. I'm doing my best.
But continuing off that kind of last question we dropped from this weekend, for anybody that's thinking about, you know what, guys, it's the first week at HGC. It's not going to be super spicy or very interesting. This weekend is actually going to set the course for a lot of the teams here, right? Like this weekend will decide basically whether or not Roll 20 has the chance of being top 3. This weekend, their first 2 games might actually just 100% set whether or not they're top 3. Like that's pretty insane. And then it also has a pretty good indicator of who's going to be bottom 2 in the first week.
Professor
That's pretty
Aether, could
crazy.
you go to your chalkboard and let us know why?
Well, I mean, so the top 3 contestant in the standings, right, is Tempo, GFE, and Freedom. So Roll 20 is kind of just right there on that edge of Team Freedom. So if everything kind of goes as predicted, where the top 2 teams kind of maintain being the top 2 teams, then winning against Freedom is what Roll 20 has to do in order to stay in contention for top 3. Because if they don't, then there's no way. And then bridging off of that with the bottom 2, Naventic and Even and Death are tied for bottom right now, but Superstars is basically right there with them too. If Naventic takes this win over Superstars, there's a chance that they climb themselves out of bottom 2, and Superstars goes right into bottom 2, which does not look good. You don't want to be there.
Well, man, every time I see the Open Division in its current state, I'm like, whatever bottom 2 going to the Crucible and HGC, I don't see them making out of it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I see Heroes Hearth throwing anybody they go against in the Crucible into the dumpster.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you
You
definitely don't want to be. You don't want to be the one selected. Like, you might be 7th or 8th, but like, it's now a coin flip on whether or not you might lose your job immediately.
Right.
Like, that's not a good place to be in.
Let's say you're Team X and you're 7th place, and Heroes Hearth comes out number 1 in the playoffs, and they're like, Pikachu, I choose you.
I mean, this is where the 7th place team goes to Heroes Hearth and says, "Hey man, we're buds. Let us know so that we can start prepping stuff if you selected us or not." And then within one day, they're like, "We chose you." And you're like, "Oh, no,
For server.
Here's the
No.
final rose.
no, please." Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever's going into the Crucible is going to be Monka S intensified, to say the very least. And I also feel like Donkas or us could any of these top 4 teams like that are in the semifinals tonight for HCC Open Division.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want to see them in a Crucible if I'm 6th, 7th, or 8th right now.
That's true. So yeah, and speaking of that, who will be casting the Open Division tonight? You want to give a shout out what channel you'll be on for where people can find you?
Well, now there's this handsome caster guy out there. I don't, this masked vigilante that just jumps off the rooftops and seems like an all-around decent fellow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'll be joining him. I'll be casting with Jay Howe tonight over on the Arcane 8 channel. I'm over the moon about that opportunity. I got to do the last cup with Solid Jake. When Jay Howe was in Taiwan for the Eastern Clash, and Solid Jake is over in Germany right now for Gamescom. So I was again asked to jump in for the open division. I was like, dude, this is like a dream come true, man. Absolutely. So I'm excited for that. I always have fun casting with Jay Howe. I'll like the open division, like these teams. It's some of the most exciting games. Like you said, like Flame is lame, very fun to watch. Donkeys Are Us, fun to watch. Heroes Hearth, light the definition of lights out Heroes of the Storm. You make a mistake 2 minutes into the game, you're feeling it 14 minutes if the game lasts that long. So you just don't get too many opportunities. And imported support, I mean, there's so much talent in the overall amateur scene right now. It's like, oh wow, that team's strong too.
It's almost like overflowing.
Right.
This is ridiculous. Gotta put a lid on it at some point, right?
Yeah, it's a great time. It's definitely a great time to be a fan of the amateur scene overall. So I'm looking forward to that.
Or be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody can sign up.
Yeah, that's a good question. How do you think people can really join into this amateur scene of Heroes of the Storm? Do you guys have any idea where maybe people could participate in some sort of like amateur weekly tournament? Does that sound crazy? I don't know. Does that sound crazy to you guys?
Well, speaking of,
yeah, man, if you want to field that one, we got to make this kid's dream come true out here.
Yeah, so there's two options, right? If you are already on a team, you can sign up for the plethora of amateur tournaments that are out there. A really, really great one being HeroesHype that happens every Wednesday.
Now, what exactly is HeroesHype? You just told me about this. And if I have a team that I want to play on this, how do I go about doing that? Like,
So you would go to Battlefy and you would look up HeroesHype. You would actually just look up Heroes of the Storm and we'd be one of the first tournaments listed because it's tomorrow. But you can actually sign up as a team or as an individual. Free agents can sign up by themselves. And if we get 5 or more players, we'll place you on a team and you can play in the tournament. Which is actually like, there's a big step of, okay, so I play Hero League by myself and I'm pretty good. Like, what's the next step? Like, what do I do? And so signing up as a free agent is a way to do that. Or getting on, any of the Discords, HeroesHype Discord, or lots of different communities have Discords where people are looking for teams, and teams are always looking for players. And you can try out, and don't ever be scared to try out or put yourself out there, because lots of teams need players, and a lot of teams are like willing and want to like help players grow. And you won't get any better unless you play against other people that are better than yourselves anyway.
Yeah, I definitely would have to echo that point. From what I've seen in the open division, you might be able to show up willy-nilly for round 1. Hopefully you don't get put against like Crowan and Arthalan. Have mercy on your soul if it does. But you're gonna take some lumps going into it. Yeah. I just don't see any other way around it. So I wouldn't use that as like an opportunity to be unmotivated. Like you learn.
Right.
Something that Cavalier guest, a friend of mine, another caster in the community, says like, hey, I'm either gonna win or I'm gonna learn something. And you get an education for sure going up against some of these teams. So it's really cool to break stuff down like that, because like you said, May, this ain't Hero League. It's not Team League. Heroes of the Storm, when everyone's in voice comms and everyone's playing on a coordinated level, feels like a very different game from Hero League or Team League or just like palling around. So
you might even be you might be actually the #1 team in the world. How would you know if you didn't participate in a tournament?
There you go.
How would you know?
And I mean, like, I really think that, like, when you learn something, like, you may never have the chance to play against, like, Crone, for example, if you're just, like, queuing up. But, like, you get to do that in these tournaments, and you can be like, oh, he did this thing. That was really cool. I'm now going to do the same thing and make my play better. And so just that exposure is really important for players if you're serious about wanting to play and getting better.
Diver said, I played against 2-Arc era Crowan once. We lasted 5 minutes or 8 minutes. Props to you, man. Longer than I would have lasted.
Yeah, longer.
5-1, 5-11, I guess. I watch HGC and I know I'm better than most of those players. How do I join an HGC team directly and skip the amateur scene? Asking for a friend. Like,
You get in HeroesHype. That's how. You come in,
Yeah,
you win one tournament, boom, instantly signed by an HGC
The one
team.
way to skip the amateur scene, the only way to skip the amateur scene and go directly to HGC is to pretty much be the number one GM for like 2 months straight.
For like what
Ever.
was it, two, 3 seasons. It was a long
Yeah.
time.
You-
Yeah,
you
and then you
gotta-
got to go win dorms, and then
Yeah,
you got to have
that's
a
the
really
one
popular
way.
stream, and yeah, that's tough.
yeah, now
And
that I'm
even-
thinking about it, Kira kind of did.
Yeah,
Well, he
and
didn't skip it fully though. He did play in the open
He,
with his dorm team.
a little bit, yeah.
well, yeah.
HGC didn't like prioritize that though.
Kira
was
was,
just like-
one of those players where he was like, I don't need to join the pro division just yet because I'm just gonna win dorm. And he said that like last June, and I was like, okay, like that's confidence. And then every time I saw him play, I was like, I understand why you're confident, good sir.
Okay.
Kind of stomping on everybody. It's not even close.
Yeah.
I get it. Oh, 5-1 said I'm currently gold league stuck in MMR hell though. I just want to scrim at top teams. Well,
Join HeroesHype.
HeroesHype is a. Well, I know you're trying to skip past the amateur scene, but I don't know if
You
the
can.
resume.
That's not how it
It's
works.
anything is.
Anything's possible. I agree.
Yeah, but
People have to know you to want to play with you. Like that's the reality of esports is people have to know your name. People have to be afraid of you or think, you know what I mean? Like it's who you know. It's not even about who you know, but who knows you, I guess is the
Ooh,
better
that's
way
an
to
interesting
put
way
it.
to put that.
yeah, you. It'd be one thing. It's like, hey, I'm Grandmaster 1, but if no one in the scene knows you or can vouch for you, it's only part of the equation there. That's how Stray became pro. He was number 1 in hot slogs for a long while. That is true. I remember when he was like, so I won quick match. Like he just had like the highest quick match MMR, and then he wrote this like thesis paper about it. And then that was the first I ever heard of Stray. I was like, all right, this dude just doesn't lose the game ever.
So then he wrote one of those guides that's like how I went pro from playing quick match in parentheses like all the Hero League players hate me, right? Like
It's Joe Hero League.
Joe Hero League. Isn't Apex like Grandmaster 1? No one looks from pro teams. I was going with Fligs. I saw Apex. I've been watching him stream every now and again. He's doing like a bronze the GM challenge right now. That's been
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, anybody who's actually feeling like they're trapped in quote unquote MMR hell, go check out that stream. 100%. See what it is that he's doing that a lot of people in that range aren't doing, and like that's a really good channel to learn from. Like especially the thing is he's only playing support too, which that's been one of the that's one of the main arguments. It's like, how am I supposed to win if I'm playing support, right? Like how do I influence the game enough as a support player? Go watch that stream. See his like 98% win rate. You know, like it's possible.
And if the look of consternation's any indicator from Aether right now, I would say, yeah, definitely. I'd believe every word of that.
That's
Gary,
right.
how's it going? Bringing the cat exception as always. I know I'm trying to understand if 5-1's trolling or not.
Oh, he's trolling you.
I'm like,
Only a little bit.
it's gotta be
Pretty obvious
memeing.
from the start.
Yeah, I was like, he's gotta be memeing out here. I don't want to crush anybody's dreams, but
Meme to dream.
I don't know, man. Well, if they ever introduce that Twitch chat region in the HGC, you go. There you go.
That would be, yeah, I would vote for 5-1 to be on that team. Right.
I would love a Twitch chat show match.
That'd be fun.
Just like
Twitch chat versus.
Oh
the
my
pros.
gosh. Like just like the tournament administrator to me is just like I start to like shake thinking about like organizing all those like Twitch people that like oh man, that'd be a nightmare.
I'm
But,
serious.
yeah.
I just need a legit chance.
I mean,
If you
the thing is
are-
though, like I don't mean to interrupt you here. Like if this guy is serious, like how serious are you really? I mean, if you think that all you need is one chance, like these are people who've been putting in years of work into doing this. You know what I mean? Like if you're actually serious about wanting to be a professional player in Heroes of the Storm. Like, this isn't just like I show up, give me one game, give me one opportunity. You know, it's not some Eminem 8 Mile. I'm not trying to be like rude or anything, but like you're gonna have to realize this is time. This is a time commitment. This isn't easy. Like, this is a lot of hard work, and that's what everyone here has been putting in. You know.
Yeah, we talked to Cass last week, and it's six hours of scrims, if not more. On plus draft stuff, plus talking about things, plus replays. So it's a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta feel like he's trolling at this point now. I mean,
no. What if that's Cure? That's actually just Cure on a sub account, isn't it?
He posts Kieran saying in the chat right now. I mean, you gotta respect the amount of effort people are putting in the amateur scene. You can't be armchair too much. It's like I can be on my couch and be like, oh yeah, like that rotation, I can't believe they did all that. Like, no, when it comes down to it, like, these players put hours of their lives into that new game, Heroes Storm. How's it going, Shines Girl? Like, you just can't. There's no one shot. There's just there's no
really skipping it. I mean, like. Right. Like we talked about, yeah.
You just gotta take the lumps, man. Prove your grit and mettle. Prove
how serious.
Yeah, there's no
really
shortcuts. There's no shortcuts, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, try out for dorms then. Yeah. Play in Heroes of the Dorm. Go number 1. People definitely see you there.
Yeah. That's your path. That's your path. If you're in college next year, win Heroes of the Dorm and don't drop a game.
Oh.
Yeah, don't drop it.
That's what UTA did.
Yeah, and then you'll get picked up by an HGC team, and then you'll go to international competition within one phase. Yeah.
Well,
there you go. That's how you do it.
You know, that is an objectively true statement, Aether. When you put it like that, it's just like, oh my God.
It's crazy to think about, actually, though, right?
A meteoric rise.
Yeah.
No other way to put it. I actually had a chance to talk with Cure for a little while at the Heroes of the Dorm final, man. He's just like this chill, non-assuming dude. Yeah. Like, he was just standing there in the middle of the party. I was like, you're a Cure, right? And he's like, yeah.
Yeah, he's a blast when he's drunk.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't had the pleasure for all that. Dan the man likes your face.
Oh, thanks.
So
does my mom.
You know, Garrosh is going to be coming in at HGC this weekend. I'd really hoped to see him in Open Vision last night tonight, but wasn't to be. He's going to shake things up. TalkingTrees is, you know, he's not as sold on his ability to shake things up as much as Casanova seemed to be. Guess remains to be seen. But with Kel'Thuzad coming out, that's going to be a whole different pickle to deal with when he hits live, and then you have the transition going in. To, you know, when a hero comes out, when they finally show up in competitive play. But I'm more concerned about how these reworked heroes are going to fare, because it's going to feel like 5 new heroes are entering the Nexus.
Oh man,
when this patch hits.
We're gonna see a massive meta shakeup, basically. Like when you have like so many characters getting reworked, there's so many different things that everybody's gonna have to try. Like there's not enough times in scrims to really try out all of those changes, right? Like you can't just isolate like one variable with all this amount of change that's going on. So it's gonna be pretty crazy to see how everyone kind of adapts to what is all going on, right?
I think it's going to be really difficult for competitive players, both the HGC and in the amateur scene, to really get their bearings. Whenever there's one of these patches where it's just like 9 different heroes feel entirely different, it's just like, what the heck is this? Jaina looks like they're going to be very interesting. The skill-based, like the base quest. Actually, let me see here.
Wait, what was the? Can you go over that Jaina change? I didn't know.
Yeah. Hang on. We're doing full production value right here.
Yeah, you get like crits, and then you stack your crits to gain like ice block.
Is it kind of like? Oh, so it's not okay. I thought it was more like the KT quest, or the Kel'Thuzad quest, where it's like after a certain time you just get like 75% bonus spell damage. I was like, oh my god.
So I'm going down a list now. I got the Reddit link. I can post it in because I'm just actually streaming my monitor right now because I'm just doing it live.
Oh, hello.
I'll post it in the.
Yeah, I'll post it in the HeroesHype channel.
Post it there.
There's a lot more
So the-
changes.
Follow along. Follow.
So yeah, so they
Here we
can
go.
follow.
Oh, I've been timed out.
I did
Rip.
it. That's why I
Wow.
unbanned. I unbanned you.
Feels good, man. Feels
Honestly,
good. Ban me out, fam. But yeah, there's a lot of things to consider because they call this patch the Call of Kel'Thuzad, and I was like, that's a little ambitious if it's just like one character. When the StarCraft theme got its event, there were 2 maps, Alarak and Zarya. When Diablo had theirs, there were 2 maps as well. So I was like, what's so fancy about, just Kel'Thuzad? Yeah, I know he's.
Man, Jaina's gonna get insane.
But on top of all the skins and stuff, this is the real story. Like Chrome's gonna feel different.
Mm-hmm.
The Q poke build's gonna see a good amount of revision. A baseline quest, which seems to be a theme overall in Heroes design.
Honestly, I actually really do like the quest route. Like, I feel like it's such a good idea of an aspect of the game that like when they introduced it, I was like, this is actually a pretty good idea because like we don't really have the same idea of carries in Heroes of the Storm, and I think the quest line it really kind of pushes us towards that. Right, you have characters that aren't strong right now, but when they finish their quest, that's kind of when they spike. Right, so it's kind of the same idea of farming minions and getting gold. It's just later on in the game that character is going to be much stronger, which definitely adds like a much more interesting aspect to the game than without it.
Well, I think it introduces the concept of the carry more.
Exactly.
Because a great Chromie player, a great Jaina player after these revisions, they'll complete the quest sooner rather than later, and their power spike will come in at the 11 mark, maybe even the level 9 mark, where a lesser player wouldn't get those until 14, where, it can feel like a very different game depending on the compositions. I think we're going to see a lot more specialized play on that front. Like, Jaina is going to get a ice block baseline once they do 15,000 critical damage. That is very skill-based. If a Jaina knows how to go off and get damage in these team fights, they're going to have that ice block sooner rather than later, and it's going to make her not a viable target for like an Illidan or some kind of dive composition. So if you can play it well, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. I don't know about this Leoric change. I don't know if they really needed to do all this. But curious to see what people do with that. I don't know if you had a chance to look over these in any sort of detail.
I've only just seen the rumored, Reddit post where somebody, wrote in and was like, I see these Ariel changes where you're buffing the amount of energy that she's gaining. Isn't this going to be crazy? And then the next comment was like, what are you guys doing about the level 7 talent? The one that's like basically defines the character. And they're like, oh, we removed it. And everyone's like, what? Like half the expectation was Ariel's going to be absolutely insane. And then within the same like hour conversation, it turned to, oh my God, Ariel might just be removed from competitive play. Like that's
it was a roller coaster ride for sure.
Oh yeah.
The other big thing that isn't in that immediate thread, I think it was Homicidal did a little bit of research on the Blizzard site itself. So apparently Lucio's passive healing is going to get a significant buff.
Yeah, that was one of the changes that made very little sense to me on the character. So with this change back, like, oh man, like so many healers just got really happy to have another option. Dude, that's for sure.
Because I was thinking about it. I read that over. I was like, oh, all right, that could make him pretty good again. And then I was like, but wait. I don't think I can recall a hero who fell off harder than Lucio.
Yeah.
Like, he kind of got nerfed once, and then they kicked him directly in the pants.
Well, that was like, the craziest thing.
And then he was just gone. I honestly, no hyperbole, forget Lucio exists. So many times.
Exactly. But it's so crazy because like all they did in that patch was change the number of 6 to 3, and it was like dead character. Like that's
half.
Oh gosh.
So I'm just really. That's what happens when you roller skate. Well, he fell flat on his face, man. I'm glad to see he's finally picking himself back up. But I just feel like, Kel'Thuzad, anytime they introduce a new hero, especially if they have a huge impact as far as displacement or something like that goes, like Garrosh, it's going to make waves. But when you have these patches that fundamentally change what you know about heroes that have been around since the beginning, like Jaina, the meta is going to just be this amorphous thing. And it's gonna be like the Wild West out here.
You got to be really scared of these EU players though that love mages and play only mages, and then it's like it looks like we're about to see potentially a huge mage overhaul, right? If they become meta again, like, oh god.
Well, I think we'll see. Well, I don't know if we'll see Li Ming more because of Garrosh, but having that high mobility to dodge the yank. And having that poke ability, I think it do work. Burst damage is definitely something that Garrosh falls short on. Because he's like, all right, well, I only get my armor like after this immediate hit, so don't do that.
Yeah, this is going to be the mini patch.
Yeah, mene patching.
Kel'Thuzad gets a talent. Every 10 region globes, he comes back to life when he dies. What? 10 region globes. 10.
That character is nuts.
Well, he's going to get nerfed, but yeah.
Compare that to Johanna needing 30 globes for 500 health.
Yeah, that's not a fair comparison.
It's just like,
or like to Diablo, who's a tank.
Right. It's just like I don't know, man. I think he's gonna be super strong. He's probably just gonna sit at the top of the screen when he comes out. Every draft, he's just banned right out of the gate, and then it's like he never even came out.
But that's exciting though, because then it means that all those things that like have been getting banned, like we get to see again.
I feel like a lot of pros are going to be really upset with this. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of. We already get that sometimes with every time Tassadar ever got touched, they were just like, please, we'll leave him banned. Stop it. Just stop touching Tassadar. We don't want to deal with Tassadar anymore.
Yeah.
Like you haven't nerfed him. You just keep making him stronger each time. With all these changes, they're going to be like, oh my God, Blizzard, why? Like, granted, that's the whole part of being a pro player is adapting to changes, but they're not going to be happy with this. I can't imagine them being happy with this.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot more shields. Droplet said, make Murky great again. Loves the Bubble said, Murky's always been great. I don't know about all that.
That's
I don't know
response to it. Just murky noises. Okay.
I don't. Well, I mean, it wasn't meant to be murky noises. I guess this is how it turned out.
Bubble.
I don't know. I don't know. But Flix Dougie said, yeah, he basically has Malthael's level 20 at 4 as a talent with less downside. I'm pretty sure if you were committed like you read about, you can get 10 region globes faster in 3 minutes?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But
So,
I do like these changes. They're like one of the best things about Heroes of the Storm. Like when I was talking to some people, and it's like, man, I haven't played HOTS in a while. Like when the 2.0 came out, so it's like, what all happened? Like what all changed? And you were like, oh my God, it's like they kept asking about heroes that were released, and it's like, no, don't care about the heroes that were released. Like we also had almost like 15, 20 characters completely redesigned from when some of those people last played. So as much as it's like amazing that we keep getting these new released characters, we're basically getting almost a new pack of characters like every 2-3 months, sometimes even a month, like with all the changes that kind of go through. So it keeps the game fresh, that's for sure.
it's a really good point, yeah.
Their content rate and like what they're doing with hero development and like working on heroes, like no one can say that they're like slacking in any way. Like they have like a pretty brutal pace that they've been putting out, right?
It's been every 3 weeks on the dot. Yeah, they've been pretty.
That's right, Reddit. You should be a little bit more appreciative because like all I ever see going in there is just where's my patch notes, where's my Deathwing, where's my king?
Where's my
like
Boo,
ridiculous.
where's my Deathwing?
No more Overwatch heroes. Like
Yeah,
dude.
And
I
it's
want
like,
Reinhardt. I want Reinhardt.
I think I want that shield
want
mechanic
Mei.
in the game.
I want Mei.
Well,
100%.
So I saw a really interesting tweet to that extent. Someone theorized that they're changing Morales the way they are because Mercy's coming down the pipe.
That's probably a good point. They're very similar, so that'd be really nice to see.
I would want Anna before Mercy, though.
Because
I
it was
think
like, Yeah, because it's like, why Morales? Like, Morales hasn't been necessarily in the meta, but she isn't bad really in her current state. She's just very specific. Like,
I
she
feel like
works.
I need to tweet at Akaface and ask him if he's looked over, because he's like the
Ooh,
big, like
yeah,
he was like
he
basically one of the
spams.
few competitive Morales players. So.
He'll take Morales no matter what.
And yeah, he has an odd kit, right? Like Akka definitely likes healers that or supports that are not like standard supports. I mean, like he plays the standard supports, but his pocket supports are off meta ones.
To say the least.
Yeah.
Womp says, to be fair, they started this really aggressive patch cycle after the outcry over the stun meta exist. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, stun meta
actually...
is just like any game has stun, right? Stun meta is CC is the easiest way to like determine the outcome of any situation. So like it's always going to be a thing.
I would like to point out that meta lasted a lot longer than 3 months, though. It was like 8 months.
Yeah, because I think what they mean is like. There was a rolling cascade of where durations of stuns were getting nerfed and brought down, and I think that's what really ended that era of stuns. But there's always going to be lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'll ever put like what is it called when like you can only get stunned so many times, and then like you have like the immunity to it? I can't think of a word. It starts with an R.
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about too. Like it's in WoW.
Yeah, I just like. Resist?
It's not resilience, is it?
Maybe.
That's a stat that you can get to reduce CC duration, I think. But it's supposed to be return. It's like return duration or something like that, right? It's supposed to be like I know what you're saying. Like the more time that you get CC'd, the less effect the next one has on you. So if you get one stun at 1.5 seconds, you'll get another stun at like 8. Diminishing returns. Thank you, Twitch chat.
Thank you, Twitch chat. Thank you.
That was about to be like a 30-minute segment on what word is that?
But yeah, do you think that'd be an interesting thing for them to put, like integrate in, right? Is a diminishing return on stun?
I mean, I think stun's overall in a good spot right now. Like, if you commit heavily into a lockdown composition, I feel like there are enough viable responses to it these days.
Mm-hmm.
To where, because I think a lot of it was just there was no counterplay to it. Like, well, if you just blow us up. You just detonate one person, like, oh, you guys took ancestral healing from us. Uther's terrible, like back then. So it was just like, well, I guess we're just kind of here getting blown up.
Yeah, back then there wasn't enough healing options to just prevent that easy chain of just slide root, and then basically whatever else was either Li Ming or Greymane follow up, and then some cases like Rag Smash, like I was dead.
I remember duo queue in Hero League. It was just like, oh, that pair took ETC to Ronda. I guess we're just gonna like get stepped on. Then feels bad. But Droplets in the chat pose a really good point, and it's something I actually would really love to hear the community's response about on the HHLive hashtag. Said that feel when Blizzard only buffs tanks and melee players are always stuck on off tanks. And I think that's a really good point because melee assassins for a long time have been in a really weird spot. Like,
wait, Droplets, you have Illidan. Calm down. Illidan's back. Like, chill out, Droplets.
Illidan's the exception, I feel, but like,
what
melee assassins?
You're on like Dahaka.
But that's a bruiser. That's kind of.
That's what she's agreeing with you. She's agreeing with Droplets on that.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Droplets. Where it's like, you're playing like Dahaka in the off lane. Or
I mean, I would like to see more, like as much as everyone I think in Quick Match right now hates Butcher, like absolutely, like it's like the highest win rate, and everyone at Low MR really hates. I actually really like the idea of melee carries. There needs to be more melee carries in HOTS, but maybe not to the level that Butcher is just out of control.
He's like easy mode though. Like it should take like skill. I agree, but like I feel like. Like a high skill capped melee assassin, like melee carry is like the funnest thing to watch in MOBAs or like in any game.
Like Zeratul and Kerrigan.
Yeah, Illidan, Kerrigan, but Butcher, I don't know. It's just like point click run. Like no one can get away. Like there's no outplaying it really.
What I would like for you guys to do is go to Twitter, hashtag HHLive. Let us know what your thoughts are on the current situation for melee assassins in general. Do you think that they're in a good spot? If you were a dedicated melee assassin player, what changes would you like to see, if any? I would just be really curious to hear what the community's response is, and we can take some of the responses and talk about it in next week's episode. because we've now crossed the hour and 20-minute threshold, and we normally try to run an hour and a half. I need to do some last minute prep for Open Division tonight, so I kind of
we can't afford to heal forever.
But another very fun episode. Again, special thanks to TalkingTrees and Spacestation Gaming for taking time out of their busy scrim schedule to sit down and give us some insight. Like I said, I never had a chance to speak with TalkingTrees before, so it was just cool to hear what he had to say on things. Thank you guys for hanging out. Maybe Buzz, Aether, always a pleasure talking with you guys. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me on Twitter at MaybeBuzz.
Hey. And then Aether?
You can find me in the Nexus.
Oh my god.
No, you
with
can
that face.
You can find me on Twitter at Landon D. Baker. I know, right? Like, maybe I should just change it to Aether. Like, it's gotten a little ridiculous. I've actually had people forget that they've talked to me in-game or on Twitter because it's not the same name. They're like, wait, I don't know you. Like, I'll continue that conversation, and it's like, but, like, who are you? I don't know you. And it's like, no, that's me on Twitter. Like, that's me. And they're like, okay. Everyone with their in-game names as their Twitter handles. Like, come on, guys. Does everybody really have to do this? I'm getting off I'm sorry.
Tilted.
Yeah,
but thank you guys for hanging out so much. TalkingTrees is here, and he's still hanging out. See. Thank you, man. But yeah, for now I gotta go get ready. I'm doing Open Division with Jay out tonight. Super excited for that. Just gonna get some things squared away for that. But another very fun episode of HeroesHype Live. Again, hashtag HHLive. Let us know your thoughts. Melee Assassins. Anything you want to just bring up to the show. We really encourage community response and interactions. Thanks for being active in the chat. Really appreciate it. Always want to hear your opinions. 7 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday. See you guys there next week. HeroesHype Amateur Series is going on tomorrow night. I believe Cavalier Guest and Hero Physio are casting. Good times there. But for now, we're going to get going. You guys have a great night.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.